Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to talk about anxiety. This is a video that I have kind of been putting off but wanting to film for ages. I just kind of needed to be in the right mindset to talk about it. So I just fixed myself because otherwise it would just kind of be all jumbled and all that. I have some notes and I feel like it needed to be written down first before I could even think about putting it out and filming it in a video. So yes, please excuse the setup. I'm in my bedroom and I've got you propped up on the windowsill, and I'm sitting on the edge of the bed because I feel like I'm not close enough if I sit so far back, but this was the best place for lighting. So yes, again, like I said, I'm going to be talking about anxiety, how I deal with my anxieties. Just to, like a disclaimer here, this is my anxiety, it's nobody else's, and I would appreciate if nobody spoke negatively or put any harsh comments or anything down below, because, or on my social media or anything like that, just because I deal with this. It's not the same as everybody else's. Everybody deals with things differently. So yeah, basically I don't really want to hear your negative thoughts on it, and I deal with this how I deal with it, and you'll deal with it how you deal with it. So yeah, that's how it is. I just wanted to put that out there because there's so much hate and controversy about anxieties and people with anxieties and thinking people are fake or just doing it for attention or anything. Maybe some people are, maybe they are, but that's not me. I just want to do this video because it's a real kind of an emotional situation for me, something I've been dealing with for a very long time, and I think that if I can help somebody and feel like I said in my last video, I spoke about anxiety slightly, that if I can say something and somebody can go, oh my god, somebody feels exactly the same as me, that might help somebody out there. So that's why I'm wanting to film this video, because I feel like somebody should feel some sort of relief if they can from something I'm saying, which would be amazing for me to think that I've helped somebody. That's the whole purpose of this video, basically. I do want to excuse my face. I have put makeup on, but I just look extremely pale in this lighting. Well, when I not. But yeah, it was just a quick makeup and my hair's chucked up in a ponytail. So, anxiety. I never really thought of it as an anxiety until maybe a few years ago, when it actually became a thing. I know that sounds weird, but I always kind of thought I was weird, basically. Why do I feel like this? Why does nobody else feel the same? Not that I didn't. Maybe people were feeling the same. Maybe they were feeling the same and I just didn't notice, basically. But I thought if I don't talk about it, nobody's going to be like, wow, she's super weird. So I just never spoke about it. Probably slightly more towards, like, my mum and my parents knew, but that's probably about it, really. My ex kind of knew about it, but again, I kept it to myself a lot, and dealt with things how I dealt with them, just to make my life easier, basically, because that's just how I dealt with it at that time. But now, knowing that it's more of a thing, not that it's more of a thing, but more aware of, and it's more of a, it's a good thing to talk about and be open about. I've definitely spoke to Harry about everything, how I felt, everything. Yes, there's some times where I feel like I'm just holding it back, and that's just me, because sometimes I feel like if I don't talk about it, I can deal with it in my own way. Just leave me alone, I'll come to you when I'm ready to talk about it. If you don't force it on me, because I'll get either angry or really upset, and I end up overthinking, which again is part of an anxiety mindset, and it's not a good situation. There's lots of people out there that I know that speak about it like it's like, well, it's part of their life, but they're not scared to talk about it, which I wish I was that kind of person, because otherwise I wouldn't be so like, I'm so nervous talking to you about how this, because I'm scared of what other people think. And that's just the anxiety talking to you in my, like, in my head, just being like, you don't need to talk about this. People are gonna be like, what the hell are you doing? So yes, a wee bit of a background to my anxiety, basically. So I've kind of had it for as long as I can remember, probably, and I've only really like kind of dug deep recently, I say recently, in the past few years, about how it actually, what actually maybe have started my anxieties and things like that. So my anxieties mainly are food, eating around people or out in public, social situations sometimes, and just the general being nervous and all that kind of thing, with like public speaking and all that. But I think that's quite normal for most people. But the main ones are food anxieties and social, I would say. So it all, what I can remember was one occasion where I was, I don't, how this is going to come across is going to be sounding really, really harsh, and it probably, not that it didn't happen, it definitely did happen, because that's how I remember it. And basically I was force fed food in nursery, and it was something I didn't like. It was something that I didn't want to eat, but for some reason I was told that I had to eat it there and then, and people were watching me and they were feeding it to me, and I was just automatically sick. Yeah, I was, and basically ever since that situation, nursery just wasn't a pleasant experience for me. I didn't enjoy, because it was just a snack, but I think this particular time it was toast with honey, which I would have toast on its own, but it had honey on it, and I just didn't like that. I told them I didn't like that, but they still proceeded to force this food down me, and I was sick. And I think that's just a normal reaction. But for a child of, what, 3, 4, I was probably really quite emotional, didn't really, but I never said anything because I thought that was normal, which obviously it's not normal to be force-fed food in a place where you're meant to be learning and enjoying yourself, and do you know, you wouldn't get that nowadays, would you? So yeah, my parents never really knew that, but I told my parents 2 or 3 years ago, and they were shocked, absolutely shocked when that came about. They didn't really know how to take it, like they couldn't do anything about it. I wouldn't expect them to do anything about it, like that's just, maybe it's happened to more people. But that's the one thing that I can think that sticks in my head most, when that's what's kind of scarred me for that situation. So basically that's why I don't like eating in public. I don't like eating around other people, new people, or it's such a weird thing to explain, because if I get to know somebody, it definitely gets easier to eat around people, but one slight wee thing can knock me off and I'm not going to eat anything in front of that person. It's not even to do with that person, it could just be if I'm just having a really bad day that day and it just hits me and I'm like, no, I feel really sick. Doesn't help because I've been pregnant this time, it has made my anxiety really, really high, and my nausea and the sickness has been terrible this time. So not terrible, it's been the same as it was last time, but it's definitely made it harder to deal with eating in front of people, and that it just kind of combined, it just made it worse for me basically. So yeah, it's so weird. Like I don't like going into a restaurant I haven't really been to before because I'm scared of what's on the menu. If I don't like it, then I don't want to sit there and feel rude, and that's the whole main point of that. I will feel rude if I don't like what the person or the restaurant has got for an option basically. And I know that sounds so ridiculous, and people, if they know me, they'd be like, don't be silly, like what would you prefer, that kind of thing. And I just don't want to be a burden on people. I don't want to be that person to think that, oh wow, she's just, I feel like people would think I'm weird to be like, why won't she eat that? But that's not, it's so weird. It's just, it's so hard to explain because it's so muddled up in my head that it makes no sense, basically. So that's kind of a background of how it first came about, and why and what goes on in my life, day-to-day life situations, basically. There has been periods in my life where it's never been an issue, which I'm so grateful for, because some of those times were the best times in my life. School times, especially high school, were amazing. I don't really know, like adult life, it's kind of got harder but better. It's been a mixture, but there have been certain points in my life where it's made me worse, and it's made me it really difficult for me to explain. But again, around those times in my life, I never really knew what it was, or why I was feeling this way, or what was going on, basically. I just thought I was weird. And probably to most people I am weird, but yeah, it's hard. Social situations have also been quite difficult. Again, with the food thing, like if it's a party or whatever, I don't really like to eat in a large group of people, because I feel like they're constantly looking at me, making sure that I'm eating, or if I'm constantly like being told, oh, do you like that, or do you want some more, or I don't like being bombarded by constant comments about the food, because I'm just like, just let me eat it. If I don't want to finish it, then I won't finish it. But I feel like if I don't finish it, they'll be like, oh, did you not like that? And that's all the kind of things that go on in my head at mealtime if I'm out and about, which again, I'm probably really weird with that situation. Yeah, social situations, not even just eating, but like going out and partying, especially when I was at school / college and all that kind of thing. I would definitely kind of use alcohol as a defence, and drink quite a bit so people wouldn't notice that it would be socially awkward. It kind of made me feel a bit better as well. It gave you a wee bit more confidence or anything like that. Definitely more, I don't know, definitely was helpful to kind of break the ice sometimes. I really enjoyed parties, like house parties and stuff at school. I really did. There was times where obviously you drink too much and it can get a bit messy, but in normal situations it was definitely quite comfortable situations that I was in, but I did use alcohol as kind of a pick-me-up and try and give me a wee bit more confidence in those kind of situations. Right, so I'm going to talk about how I cope with my anxieties. I'm out and about, and I normally feel really quite sick with anxiety most of the time, and if I'm out and about, I will use gum, like chewing gum, as a way to help me take my mind off things. It's minty, so it helps that, but I will also chew 10 times on one side and chew 10 times on the other, but I'll count in my head how many times I'm chewing. And I have got this down to a fine art and nobody knows really. I just look like I'm chewing gum, but I'm definitely doing it from one side to the other. And that's just how it's kind of like how people might take themselves away from the situation and just count to 3 and just take a couple of deep breaths and just thing. Where sometimes I have to do that as well, like just take myself completely away from the situation. Like before Christmas there, me and Harry and Erica were out and about in Livingston in the shopping centre, and I had to get away. I was quite emotional anyway, like I just wasn't having a good day, but it was so busy. I started freaking out. I almost had an anxiety / panic attack. I really wasn't in a good place that day, and I literally had to step outside, get some fresh air and just breathe, and like close my eyes and just take a second and being like, right, it's fine. I did cry, but better that than not really like just bracing myself through it, because I had to take myself out of the situation to go back in. And after that I was alright. I managed to do what I had to do, get what I had to get, and then leave. So yeah, that part, like chewing gum and stuff, it does help, and it does make it easier for me. If I know there's going to be a time where I'm going to have to eat something or that, and I don't feel comfortable in the place that I'm going, I will normally try and eat something before I go, so that I can kind of tell the person, oh, I've just had something to eat, or I'll just have a wee bit, and then just kind of pick at that, just because it makes me feel more relaxed in the situation, and just makes it easier for me. And I feel like people, like, that's what I need to stop doing, is thinking about other people and put myself first in the situation that I'm in, and just kind of like take control of it. I'd like to be able to take control of the situation and just deal with it, and if that helps me and makes me have a better time wherever I'm going, then I'm going to do that, because what's the point in me feeling miserable and not enjoying myself when other people are, basically. So again, that's another thing that I've learned to deal with and took on board, basically. If Harry was here, he'd be able to tell you that I still kind of keep it to myself, and I find it really hard to still talk about it, but believe me, it's a lot better than what it used to be, because I would just get myself in such states and not be good, and people would be like, well, why are you acting like that? And I would just be like, oh, I'm just having a bad day. And now looking back, I really wish that it was spoken about, especially in school, because school is a hard time for most people, and if you have a great time, that's amazing, but there's lots and lots of people that don't. And anxiety, depression, eating disorders, all these things should be spoken about more. It's probably better in school now because it might be spoken about. I don't know, I've not been at school for years, but I definitely feel like when I was at school, I wish they used that in our PSE lesson, which was we all had a class, and you'd learn your sex ed and bullying and all these kind of things, and I feel like social media should be a topic, and I feel like anxiety and depression should be a topic, and eating disorders should also be a topic. It shouldn't just be brushed under the carpet, or shouldn't just be because one person's thinking about it or one person's talking about it. It should be spoken and being open about in a whole group, I think, because I feel like lots of people, there'd be a lot less, I don't know, a lot less people that are feeling like they're not worth anything, basically, or sad or depressed or anxious people out. Not to say that like anxious and depressed are not going to be cured by just spoken about in a class, but just to take time to actually understand people, I feel like that should be a thing as well, because it shouldn't be made like, shouldn't be a thing that you're like weird because you're depressed or you're anxious. It should just be spoken about, because it's a serious situation and it can cause a lot of harm and things to families round about, and it's just, yeah. I feel like I'm totally rambling in this video. I know I've got notes, but it just seems I get one thing off my chest and just keeps going. So please, if you want to click off, I totally understand, but I just wanted to get things off my chest as they come into my head, because otherwise, I don't know, otherwise I just feel like I'm not going to get it out. And if I don't get it out now, when am I going to get it out? Do you know what I mean? I'm doing this video for a purpose, and I want to do it for this reason. For me to deal with my own anxieties, I need to be able to talk about it. And that's what I'm doing today. Because I've been putting it off and putting it off, and Harry especially has been like, just film it. Make it a raw video. You don't need to edit it too much, just be yourself, and you know, as much as it can be a pain in the bum sometimes and sometimes he really doesn't get how I feel and that kind of thing, it does make sense sometimes. Don't start getting at me, Harry, because I know what you're going to be like. But yes, it's so true. Like, I need to be myself. I need to stop thinking about what other people think and just get on with my life. And we're about to have a second baby, so I want to bring up Erica and the new baby and the surrounding of a positive one, and not through a fake one, because I don't want to show her like I don't want her to be turn into an anxious person if she doesn't need to be, because I feel like some parents bring on anxieties on other children for no reason, and that's not me at all. I really don't want that for her, so because it's hard to deal with these things, and if God forbid there was something to happen in her life that made her this way as well, then I'm there for her to be able to talk to me about it. It's not that I wasn't able to talk to my parents or anybody else really about it, it's just that I had to find it out for myself basically. And she will too, or anybody out there will need to be able to figure it out for themselves. Nobody can tell them otherwise. So yes. Oh, this video has been such a ramble, and I'm so sorry if it just doesn't make sense at all. I've really tried to kind of get my point across and how I felt and how I deal with my anxieties, and that I don't even know, it's so like it's a hard one to talk about, and I'll probably mention it and bring it up at some point throughout my time on YouTube or whatever, social media, that kind of thing, because I want to have this positive mindset and have people being able to come to me and talk about anxiety if they need to. I can be that person. If you want to talk to me about anything or how you're feeling, I can be there for you. If you just message me on Instagram or comment down below or anything like that, email me, I can be at the end and be that person for you if you need to chat. And I feel like that should be a thing for most people to be able to do, because there is somebody out there that's going to be like, you know, we have similar situations, and it'd be nice to talk to somebody that's going about the same thing. Yeah, so yes, if you enjoyed this video, and I kind of hope that you did, because it's been quite a rambly one and something I've been thinking about for a while, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below like I said, and if you have any comments, or please don't make anything negative, keep it positive, and maybe this could be your chance to get it off your chest how anxious you've been or anything like that, or realise that this is what you have, your anxiety. Then please comment or message me on social media. Everything's linked down below, and yeah, I really hope to see you in the new year, because I think this video will be going up before that. And yeah, enjoy your new year. I hope you had an amazing Christmas, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.